In its 54th year, Africa Day is a very special day to anyone with African heritage. It's held annually on the 25th of May to commemorate the Organisation of African Unity. Here in Australia, we see this day as an opportunity to acknowledge, celebrate and share our diverse African culture with the wider Australian community. To tell us more about it, I am now joined by Mum Rabecca, Fraser and Tina, who are the representatives of Africa Day Australia. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for making the time. Can you tell us some of the activities that happen? Because I know there's a series of events that actually happen during the Africa Month. Can you tell us a little bit about the different events that go on?
We start in the first week with the sports. So at this time, when we have the sports, Africa Day, we engage the teams like soccer, football, volleyball, and this year we had the soccer. They played between Liberia and then you have South Sudanese heritage, and it was fantastic. So really capturing these talents that the youth are engaging themselves in. But again, we want to embrace and promote what the Africans themselves are able to do and share that or contribute towards the Australian nation itself. Yeah. Then following, we have the Forums Day, which will be, of course, the second huge Africa Day Australia event itself. And this one this year will be on the 13th of May. Now, during this forum, there are 3 sessions, 2.5 sessions in the morning, Advancing Africa, Australian Agenda, and then we have the second session, 2 hours, which is the Families Forum, and then we have in the evening 2.5 hours the Youth Forum itself. Then we have a third one, Africa Got Talent.
Yeah. I know.
Here we go.
These two are going to talk about that. And yeah.
So you have Africa Got Talent. Of course, Fraser will talk more about it. And I don't want to preempt that because I'm excited to hear from his point of view. Yeah. But really, we have to think about, here we are, creating a platform where we can showcase the talents among our African youth. And then finally, we have Gala Dinner. Oh, wow. Since 2013, it's been fantastic, growing, where we have dignitaries, of course, being part of our celebration. And we have speeches there, but eating African. Don't forget that. So
I look forward to it.
Yes, I also look forward to that.
Thank you so much, Mum Rabecca, for that beautiful answer. And as you touched on a little bit, Fraser, I'll move on to you now because you are the brains behind Africa's Got Talent. Can you tell us a little bit about, what that involves?
Okay. I just joined Africa's Got Talent about 2 years ago. Became a member for the organization, Africa Day Australia, 2 years ago. And I've been just trying to gather people together. Like Mama Rabecca said, it's about embracing African culture. So the nostalgia lies behind us all being African, being overseas here in Australia. So our aim is to engage with the youths and Tina is going to be one of our MCs on the night. The event is happening at St. Albans Community Centre, Bowery Theatre, on the 20th of May. Doors open 5:30 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. It's a family event, so all kids can come through as well. We want to see the kids coming through. There's going to be a lot of drama, dancing, acting. It's going to be a night full of fun. And we're looking for more talent out there. So if you're happy to join our website on www.africadayaustralia.org. You can find more information on there. And for tickets, they're selling at www.eventsprite.com.au.
This is a talent showcase.
Sure, yes.
And if I can ask you, already here in Australia, there are a few talent shows that are happening already. I don't have to mention them by names. They're on the big channels and that. Why did you guys feel, as a committee, as a organizing team, and etc., feel the importance to create like a separate stage for the African youth?
As you already know, being African, we here in Australia, we're immigrants, and a lot of people don't actually understand the African culture. So when somebody comes doing a certain dance, I don't know, maybe some people might remember Nadia, who also performed on So You Think You Can Dance. And she was doing a dance which involved shaking her booty. And one of the judges said she wasn't happy with her shaking her booty. But 3 years later, 4 years later, the whole thing of twerking is now, you know, on mainstream. Everybody's doing it. We've seen Serena doing it as well. So it's something that if that judge had known to say this is what it's actually about, you know, she would have acknowledged it rather than taking marks off it, you know. So that's just something that we also see as saying like, okay, as Africans, we want to embrace on African culture, African urban style, and everything, you know, anything to do with African, and put it out there and show people who the best people are of African.
Awesome, great. You know, I'm glad. Yes, Nadia. Who doesn't know Nadia?
Yeah.
But, and Tina, if I can come to you, you will be the host, one of the hosts on the night. Exciting.
Thank you.
And what are you most excited about the
I'm
HDT?
very excited about the whole Africanized beat and dancing, but at the same time, just to be able representing the youth, because I think it's very important for us young people to get together and to embrace who we are, diversity, our values, and to forget where we come from. So for me, like when Fraser approached me, I was like, I would like to do this. This is what I see myself doing on the stage, you know what I mean? So for me, I think I'm mostly excited to, you know, to present my people, to volunteer, as well as to just engage all the people, the audience, to get them to dance, to do what they love doing, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited about the whole, like just the vibes and just meeting other young people like-minded like me, just to do what I love doing.
And also, you know, you said you volunteer. I know that you're very active in the community. And there's an ABC Haywire story that you were the winner.
Yeah,
do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
No problem. So 2 years ago, I was lucky enough, so I competed in a Haywire Young Regional Summit. So it's basically young people from across Australia, different states. You write a story about what you're really passionate about. It can be about education, problems, anything you're passionate about, and you submit online. So if you're lucky enough, like I was lucky enough from Victoria to be selected to go to the parliament and to work with politicians and to do what you love doing. And I was lucky enough to pitch my story and to pitch my idea that I want to implement back in Shepparton, Victoria. So that was a fantastic opportunity for a young person to come out of my comfort zone and to do what I love doing. So that was fantastic, and just to be able to engage with other young people who want to see change, because we are the future generation, and if you don't take it, no one is going to do it because we're the young, you know, young generation. The future. So yeah, exactly, the future for,
and for a fact, you know, the African youth is a big population.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of opportunities out there here in Australia that we want them to embrace on and take on board. And, you know, use those opportunities.
And that's a good point with opportunity too. I must say that there's so many opportunity. And so I'm 19 years old this year, and yes, I might look old for my age. Yes, sorry. And I think it's very important. I think I wanted to mention that there's so many, especially for us young people. Like I grew up in a refugee camp, and I came to Australia when I was 8 years old. Sorry, so I didn't speak any English. So English is my second language, as you can tell. So like for me, I took every opportunity just to, you know, to engage in the community, because I had the support for my school, had the support for my community, and I realized where I came from, you know, I had it, but here it's where I want to start. I believe that everyone has a talent. You just need to come out there and discover the talent. And that's what I would like to say today. Thank you very much.
Awesome. As you're talking about opportunities, and I guess in a way, you know, Africa Day Australia kind of unearths all those, you know, opportunities that lie there for young people, for families, and all those sorts of things. Now, how can people who are interested to get involved, you know, whether it be by volunteering, coming to be to compete, and then just attending the events and that, what's the next step? What do they do?
You know, like I mentioned before, our website is www.africadayaustralia.org. I think that's really easy to remember. Africa Day Australia. We're Africans in Australia. AfricaDayAustralia.org.
So just jump there
just
and
jump on our
all
website
there.
and check it out, guys. Also check us out on Facebook, Africa Day Australia, and Instagram, Africa Day Australia. That's where we're at.
Yep.
And
maybe Rebecca can add on to that one as well.
I can add something.
Yep.
So I want to tell African Australians not to forget that they can actively participate. We have a steering committee. They can be part of that. So as organizers, they can just let let us know through our website that Fraser has said. But again, if people want to be part of the executive, yes, committee, they can do so. After a year, the current executive committee will be dissolved.
Yeah.
So they can't be part of that. Again, as you have put it, they can volunteer to be part of the working teams. They have the subcommittees, they can be part of that. But again, on the actual days, they can volunteer. Now, let me remind the African Australians, as well as our brothers and sisters in the mainstream, including the Indigenous Australians also, everyone is welcome to participate.
Yes.
We are very inclusive.
Yes.
And I remember,
I like that idea, because
Yes.
sometimes I had people, from a Latin background approach me saying, I feel like I'm part of Australia, I'm part of African history, but Africa Day Australia, is it really for everybody? And I think maybe you can just elaborate more on that to say it does cover for everyone who has the African heritage behind them, whether before colonization and after colonization. I think maybe
You
can.
have elaborated. No, so, okay, so in this case,
So whether
Australians,
Caribbean
yes.
or anything, if Caribbean, Black American, or anything you are,
Anything, we're all one.
we're all one at the end of the day, and that's what it is, celebrating Africa Day.
And another way of participating is one can volunteer or once invited to be a speaker, a presenter. They can state performances. So there are many ways in which they can contribute or participate.
With Australian African youth, I think there is more need for them to get engaged on these sort of activities you're talking about. Even Africa Got Talent, the Youth Forum, it's where people can come together and brainstorm and move ahead, to tackle some of the issues that are affecting the community,
And
being African Australian.
nearly for your information, African Australians and everybody else, nearly 90% of the VMC office is participating, attending.
Fantastic.
We have speakers from the VMC office, even young Tina Hussein will be there. Yes, so we expect everybody to be there.
Wow, it sounds fantastic. Now I can't miss it. I have to be there.
You have to be there. You have to be there.
Okay, great.
Eb? Look,
Yep,
the
everyone
first
is there.
Australian of the year
Yeah.
in 2015, you'll be there.
Excellent. Well,
Yes.
we will all
I'll
be
be
there.
there.
We're not going to miss it. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank
That
you
was
so much.
very
Thank you so
informative.
much.
Thank you so much for coming through and sharing that with us. To find out more about all our guests today, be sure to jump on our website and please visit our social media pages. But for now, let's go to Chef Stolly and see how he's going.